您好，我是沈玲，欢迎收看这一期的《天下纵横谈》。根据尼尔森公司，也就是 Nielsen 最新的研究显示，其实亚裔美国人无论是在科技的产品，或是在网络上面直接观看节目的百分比，都在不断的提高当中。我们今天非常荣幸邀请到了，也就是 Nielsen 公司尼尔森公司的 Vice President， 也就是 Marco Carpenter， 跟我们讨论一下，其实亚裔美国人在整个美国来说所占的重要性到底为何。Hi Marco, how are you?
Hi, Charlene. Good, thank you. Good
Thank
to
you
see
so much.
you.
Yeah, good to see you too. Ever since the last seminar you had, I was like so amazed by it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well,
Yeah,
thanks for having me here today.
it was actually very, very informational. I believe you guys spent a lot of time on it, correct?
Yes, it's a rich body of work that a lot of people at Nielsen come together to put together that we release every month on Asian Pacific American Heritage Month.
This month is very important for all of us, especially everyone in the United States when we're in this pandemic. But I do have several
Yes.
questions for you. Let's jump into that. First question I do have for you is, what is the most effective way for Asian American to be engaged?
So really, all of our data at Nielsen shows that Asian Americans are very digitally engaged.
Mm-hmm.
Any brand, any content creators who really want to connect with Asian Americans, there has to be a digital arm. And so when I say digital, I mean all platforms. We spend more time on social media, and we are also a house that's connected through digital. So social media, blogs, podcast, streaming content. So really, I think digital is the way to connect with this audience.
Yeah, I think we are all in it together, especially for all Asians. We are not only like, I would say cell phone savvy, because majority of us might actually have 2 phones or 3 phones, but we're at home, we have our TV on, it's actually a smart TV, we have our iPad in every hand, and then the phone in the couch and everything. We're extremely super, as you said, electronically savvy, right? But for majority of the mainstream people, what are some types and topics of content that Asian Americans really gravitate toward to?
Yeah, so of course, when we look at things that Asian Americans are watching, they are watching things that everybody else is watching. So Tiger King, America's Got Talent, The Voice. So all of those biggies, Asian Americans are also enjoying. But where we really see from a content type that really is different for Asian Americans, we love food. Charlene,
Yes.
we love food.
Yes.
So you have those like Ugly Delicious or street food that's really, really doing well amongst Asian Americans. Documentaries, I think we are a culture that likes to learn new things, learn about other cultures, and so we tend to gravitate towards documentaries. And then the last is what I just said before, a lot of these variety shows, and I think it's these shows that really appeal to a multi-generational families, right? So you can watch, the grandma and grandpa can watch America's Got Talent or American Idol with their grandkids, and everybody in the family can enjoy it together. And so those, I think, are the 3 genres that Asian Americans are really, really gravitating towards.
All right, Marco, and politics is always one big thing as well. How has politics changed the media narratives?
Yeah, so well, I will say that media has become very political. There's a lot of political content in media today, and I think and so media in itself has become very political.
True.
what we're also seeing from our data is that, you know, consumers are leaning in, right? They are tuning in. They want to hear these conversations about what is going on in our community, in the country, and really around the world. So while it has become political, it also has sort of really forced Americans to really tune in, including Asian Americans, to really tune
Yes.
to the news and to what's happening in our country.
And since the social media is changing so rapidly, how has social media changed the traditional news platform?
Well, you know, social media has now become the source of discovery for a lot of content, including the news. A lot of breaking news now is happening, is being distributed and consumed via social media. So
hmm
it's just another platform that everybody, that there's, you know, the audience is really engaged with. And so a lot, it becomes an important one when you have to get to when you have messages that you really want to deliver to Asian Americans, you know, in an instant when there are breaking news.
Yeah, and as Nelson, because Nelson, for you guys has to be accurate. You guys will have to collect lots of data in order to make your accuracy even to be on the top notch. How does Nelson actually keep up with all these information?
Yeah, it's really hard, Charlene. Thank
I
goodness
bet.
there are a lot of super smart people at Nielsen.
Like you?
Out 40,000 people. A lot of them are data scientists. Um,
hmm
you're absolutely right. You know, as a measurement, trusted source of measurement for media, we have, as you can imagine, data coming from all the different sources. And then you have the Nielsen analysts who are analyzing it, you know, all day, every day. So it's a really big task, but a really exciting time as well, as new platforms come to play and as we can really see how people are changing the way they're finding content and the way they're consuming content. So it's really challenging for the
I
data.
bet.
For somebody
Yeah.
like myself, it's fascinating, and I actually I love it.
And as for me as a media partner and for other mainstream media partners, of course, they do want to get the accurate and most top-notch data or researches from Nelson. How often or how fast-paced are you to keep up with all these datas?
Yeah, no, we are, you know, we are keeping up. We have to keep up, you know.
Yes.
So we're constantly, you know, we're already you know, working with partners, outside partners, new platforms before we even know it as a consumer. So you know, it is our top priority. This is what we do. You know, this is what we have been doing for almost 100 years. So
Mhm.
it's really like you said, it's very complicated, but one that that's our core competency, and this is what Nielsen does.
Yeah, as far as I understand, because I visit Nelson very often, and you guys category everything in such details that for me to see it and look at all these PDFs and researches, I feel like, oh, it's so easy for me to understand, but I believe you guys have spent tons and tons of times on it. One last question from my end. As pandemic has been going on, started at the end of March until all the way today, there's a lot of people say about Asian hate that's going on right now. Is there anything that's reflecting in Nelson's data?
Well, you know, yeah, it's been really unfortunate, Charlene, with what's
Yeah.
happening with anti-Asian discrimination. We at Nielsen, we've been doing a lot of analysis pre-COVID to COVID. And what we are seeing is that Asian Americans are leaning into the news a lot more than the average US. Our news consumption percentage actually increased by 27% versus
Mhm.
And a lot of that, I think, is because they are, leaning in, and they want to keep hearing, keeping abreast of what's happening in our community with the hate. But we as Nielsen, as a data company, we have really, really proactively been out in the community, out in media, really using the data and talking about the contributions that Asian Americans are making in this country, to really, really combat this, this xenophobia that we are starting to see. We have been seeing. In fact, we have even before March. Our data shows that a lot of the Asian American small businesses were already hurting in January when this virus was touted as the Chinese virus. So we've taken a leadership role. We've actually gone out into the media to denounce this type of activity, but really sharing and educating everybody on the contributions that we make. We are on the front lines of the pandemic, just like all the other, Americans, right? 1 in 5 active physicians in this country are Asian. Descent, right?
Yep.
So many nurses, small business owners who are essential workers. So really, we've just been out there just really trying to educate everybody with the data, and hopefully people will pay attention to the data and not act on their fear.
That's very true. As a matter of fact, we are all in this together from the beginning till the very end. As you have mentioned, and a lot of frontline helpers, they are Asian American descendants. So there's really no hate. Without everyone, we will not be able to get through this. If anyone who wants to know about the report, where can they go and find all the reports?
Yeah, so all the data, our latest one is available on our website, and that's nielsen.com/Asian Americans. And the report is actually free. It's really, really rich. It has a lot of interesting data. So I encourage everyone to download it and to take a look.
感谢您收看这一期的天下纵横谈，当然也希望这一期的访问呢，能够让您更加了解到，其实亚裔美国人无论是在美国总人口的面积比例上，甚至是在科技产品上，甚至在网络购买率上面，甚至是我们所谓的网络观看率上面所占的百分比为何，所占的重要性又有多少。其实在这样的时期里面，疫情仍然在持续当中，不过我们每一个人都应该团结在起来，因为我们真的是 in this together。